of due process and our Constitution that we are going to stand up for and say no to this violence. This is what this fight is about, and I am proud to stand with Democrats to make sure that we give voice to the fears of Americans for where this country is heading and where this violence is taking us. And I am very proud to have a partner in Vice Chair Murray in this work, and thank her and Rosa DeLauro for all they have done on the appropriations process.
Well, thank you very much. And Mr. Speaker, I did not come from Brooklyn, nor did I come from the House, but I did come here as a mom in tennis shoes who today is very angry about what is happening to families in my community and across the country. Everyone in America with eyes and ears can see what's been happening in Minnesota and across the country. The injustice is clear as day, and what the American people are demanding is equally clear. Law enforcement cannot be lawless, but that's exactly what we have been seeing from ICE and from CBP. We have seen people that have done nothing wrong get abducted by masked agents with no warrant and shipped across the country. We have seen peaceful protesters and observers get tear gassed, tackled, detained, and even killed in cold blood. And we've seen the Trump administration responses grow more unhinged and infuriating by the day. The lies have become completely detached from reality. Enough. We are not going to fund a rogue department with its unchecked agents and officers. We are going to have accountability at DHS, or there will not be Democratic votes to fund a lawless agency. If Republicans refuse to make the changes the American people are demanding, they are forcing a Republican shutdown of DHS. The chaos, the brutality, all of it happened at the explicit direction of this president and a Republican Congress that wrote him a blank check. If Republicans want Democratic votes to fix that, then they need to understand that half measures won't cut it. What Democrats are demanding is reasonable and it is necessary. End the roving patrols. Hold federal agents accountable and hold them to the same standards as local law enforcement on basic things like use of force. Get masks off, get body cameras on, and ensure proper identification. Democrats are at the table. We are focused on getting a bill, but it has to be a bill that reins in the abuses that we are seeing by ICE and CBP. And I'll just say, Democrats, all of us, we are strongly support the mission of FEMA and the Coast Guard in this bill, but the American people are demanding guardrails to rein in ICE and Border Patrol, so that has to happen. Americans demanding accountability, we will settle for nothing less. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Murray. Thank you, Leader Schumer. Thank you, Whip Clark. Thank you to all of my colleagues in the House and the Senate for their incredible leadership and forcefulness. Questions?
Leader Jeffries,
Hold on.
Can I just get a level set here before we start these negotiations from Senator Schumer on why Leader Jeffries wasn't initially included in these negotiations, and if you're committed now to moving forward, being at the table together?
The House and Senate are completely and totally on the same page in terms of Democrats, as we've outlined. Leader Schumer and I had a close, positive conversation yesterday about the path forward. We've remained in close contact over the last several days, as we will continue to do. And what you see here is a representation of the entirety of the House Democratic Caucus and the Senate Democratic Caucus, united in reining in an agency, ICE, that's out of control, and a Trump administration that is actually unleashing state-sponsored violence on the American people and on law-abiding immigrant families. That's completely and totally unacceptable, it's unconscionable, and it's un-American. And so Democrats are united in pushing back in the ways that have been articulated. Thanks. Second row.
Oh, I was going to ask, what is the next steps? Are you going to have meetings scheduled with the White House? Who are you negotiating on this side? We talked to Thune, he says you're talking to Trump. Other people say you're going to talk to Thune.
Let me yield to Senator Schumer.
Look, the bottom line is, we're ready to sit down and negotiate but it's got to be strong, it's got to be tough, it's got to rein in ICE in very serious ways and end the violence. And we hope our Republican colleagues will meet us on that. We haven't, Leader Thune designated the senator from Alabama, but she's got to represent the Republican caucus. And we need the White House on board. We need the Senate Republicans. We need the House Republicans on board. And if they're not serious and they don't put in real reform, they shouldn't expect our votes, plain and simple.
Hold on a second. Manu.
Yeah, the Speaker's already rejected two of your demands, judicial warrants and removing face masks. So if that's still his position, will you vote to shut the government down, shut the Department of Homeland Security down if he sticks to that position?
Mike Johnson and John Thune rejected the notion that the 6 appropriations bills should be divided. They rejected that notion. And I'm thankful for what Leader Schumer and Senate Democrats did, which is to draw a line in the sand and say, no, it's not going to go down that way. And that's why we're at this moment. So understand something. We get it over in the House. Mike Johnson and John Thune aren't working for the American people. They work for Donald Trump. And so many of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, they function like a wholly owned subsidiary of the Trump cartel. So at the end of the day, listen, Trump understands that the public is not with the administration's cruel and chaotic policies here, and that we actually need to restore law and order as it relates to how we proceed. And we're ready to proceed in good faith. To sit down.
Are those red lines for you?
Mike Johnson has articulated unreasonable positions. He's actually supporting the notion that mass and lawless ICE agents should be deployed in communities throughout America. That's Mike Johnson's position. That's contrary to what the American people believe should be taking place. Mike Johnson called the 4th Amendment an inconvenience. It's not an inconvenience. It's part of the fabric and DNA of our country. Just like the First Amendment, yes, even the Second Amendment, the 10th Amendment, the 4th Amendment, we're standing up for all of these constitutional privileges that have been part of who we are since the very beginning as we celebrate our 250th birthday. Chuck?
I'm just going to say, we're sending them a proposal and we await their response. But I think the American people are going to be amazed that the Speaker says that these secret police should continue to rove around in our cities unchecked.
Thank you, everyone.
Leader Schumer, is Trump open to this? Like, does he want to negotiate? Guys, no running.
You want to do steps at 3:30? Yeah. Look at him. Yes, sir. You got it. Great job, gentlemen.